powerful mindset and envision your future. Take the lead is in your walls.
Take the lead is in your walls.
This platform serves as a space for engagement designed to equip young people to become effective leaders. They are actively contributing, creatively engaged, and determined in various fields. And now, this is Take the Lead.
Hello once again and welcome to Take the Lead, the 26th episode of your youth exchange program here on West Africa, Democracy Radio, broadcasting all the way from Dakar, Senegal. My name is Augustine Cully. Today we focus the discussion on ways to ensure young people are financially disciplined. We are live right now on 94.9 FM and also streaming live on YouTube at WADR News as well as Facebook, WADR English Service. You can also get us worldwide on WADR.org. Listen to us direct, live from anywhere, anytime. As a reminder, we will be reading your comments on the show today as usual. So please make your input, what you make about the topic, what you make about our guests, exposés and their thoughts on the topic. We will certainly read your reactions out. Young people's relationship with money has been a widely discussed topic. For many, money is not just a practical necessity. It is a subject of growing personal importance. Research from the Michigan University shows that young people's financial attitudes are largely formed during childhood. However, while awareness may begin early, financial knowledge and skills are not always well developed. Many young people face challenges in managing money or finances effectively, from budgeting and saving to understanding credit and debt. At the same time, the digital presence now, or what we term as the digital age in current day's reality, presents new opportunities. Access to online tools, financial apps, and educational resources allow today's youth to grow their financial literacy more easily than previous generations. In the current global economic climate marked by war, inflation, and resource scarcity, young people are navigating a complete landscape. These conditions present both significant challenges and valuable opportunities for learning how to manage their finances more wisely. That's why this edition of Take the Lead is dynamic, and it is a great step to examining how young people are adapting to and overcoming the financial realities of the current time.
Take the Lead is back in 2025 with a brand new format. Yes, your youth exchange space will now be broadcast live every Friday at 4:05 p.m. Universal Time. And that's not all. Dear internet users and WADR subscribers, you have the opportunity to experience the show live and direct on our online platforms on Facebook at WADR English Service and on YouTube at WADR. Take the Lead every Friday from 4:05 p.m. Universal Time and rebroadcast same day at 1 a.m. Universal Time. Also, every Tuesday, your youth program will be rebroadcast at 7:15 a.m. and 4:05 p.m. GMT. Take the lead and champion the discourse for the betterment of young people.
Take the lead and champion the discourse for the empowerment of young people, especially young people within the West African sub-region. So, I am being joined by two distinguished young personalities in studio today, and we are hopeful of having another person online. But in studio with me today is number one, Bachita Banasi. And Bachita is a chemist. She's also the founder of the Be Naturals brand. She is a nationalist from Togo. It's a pleasure to have you in our studio, Bachita. How do you feel being here today?
Well, I feel great. Thank you for having me.
Please get closer to the microphone so the audience can hear you clearly.
I feel great. Thank you for having me.
How do you feel being in our studio, especially being your first time and on this platform?
Well, it's my first time on your platform, and thank you for the opportunity, giving me the time to use my voice and make an impact, however that may be. I feel great, and I'm ready to open up.
Great. That's wonderful. It's a pleasure. Let's cross over on my right, my immediate right. It's Dumas Chibozo. He is a medical laboratory scientist, and he is from Benin. It's a pleasure to have you with us, Dumas. Welcome to the YouFood platform.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to have you.
Please share with us your feelings of being on our platform today.
This is a good way for me to share my idea with people all around the world, and I think it's a good thing, and this is a real pleasure for me to be here.
Great. Aside from these two personalities in studio with me, we are hopeful of having a Michael Ronan Toggle, who is in Sierra Leone. Hopefully he joins us via Zoom to also share with us its insight. We are hopeful of that. But just to get the boat on the roll or the vehicle on the roll, let's firstly know from our guests in studio, young people and money. How would you describe young people and money, their interest for money, before we go, into the nitty-gritty of this wonderful discussion, beginning with you, Bachita?
Well, we often say doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result is insanity. And I find more and more young people in Africa facing insanity placed on themselves by themselves. And that's because we don't take the time to discipline ourselves. We don't take the time to educate ourselves on financial freedom, financial literacy, and self-sufficiency.
How are these maybe problems being placed on the young people by themselves? How are they, putting it on themselves?
Simple answer: following trend. Everybody want to be like the next popping person. Nobody wants to take the time and reevaluate their lives, reevaluate their measures to see if they're able to leave the trend that's going on. Everybody want to follow, everybody want to shine, but nobody want to create.
But would you want to be left out? You in person, like
Personally,
out of the trend, out of the reality?
Personally, I don't want to be left out. That's why I create trend. I don't follow trend. So I'm encouraging more young Black Africans like me to create trends, not just follow. Create useful trends. Help educate the youth. Help us toward our mission on Earth, which is self-sufficiency.
Exciting. To you, Dumas, please share with us your own personal overview about young people and their love or interest for money.
Like the message is about confusion.
Confusion?
Yeah. Conflicting the idea of using money to realize things and considering money as the final goal. So you can use money as a means to achieve great things, to impact, to influence, to create. When the sole obsession, the only thing you have in mind as, let's say, aim is the money, you are just confused about what is important to achieve. So that's what I see is that a lot of young people they just want money. Even when they have it, they don't know what to do with it because they never thought that, okay, when I get the money, what should I do next? for what do I want the money at the first time? So not having this kind of reflection, not brainstorming those kind of thought about the real goal of money, put them in a place where even when you give them, say, money, they just throw it away, not knowing what to do with it. They don't have their own, let's say, a way to see life, their own way to approach things in life. So for them, just seeing other people, okay, having money and realizing things, just put in their mind that, okay, the goal is money. Wrong. The mean is money.
Okay. Buchita talk about strength as a factor. Everyone wants to be, maybe the pop of the most talked about. You talk about them loving money. Like, they may not understand why they even need the money. But what do you think grows their desires to loving money?
Like you say, everybody wants to shine.
Okay.
And in the world in this world, you have to use money to achieve great things. So, and with the internet, with the evolution of communication, we have been habituated to have the world at our fingers. So you will see someone young, maybe 20, that have a beautiful car. You don't know what he does in life, but you want that car. The only way you have to achieve this kind of things is having money. So you don't see the road and the work that it takes to have this kind of car. You just want the car. We have the mindset of instant gratification and not having ambition. So you see something, you just want it. It's not really what you really want, but it feels cool. It feels good to have this kind of thing. So you just want it for you too. Okay. You don't want to waste time because you want to be flashy.
You want to be flashy. Now, these opening statements coming from the both of you signal the need for more emphasis on, I would say, financial education for young people. For you, I would like to know, especially the country you are from, and maybe you must have grown up in another country, and you've had the experience of maybe other young people, how they treat finances when they have it in comparison with your home country. Tell us, what would you consider as the current situation of financial education for young people?
Well, thank you again for the opportunity. I would say the financial education of young people nowadays is little to non-existent because the problem has to be tackled from the roots. The parents, the schools have to be able to teach financial literacy. They have to be able to know what they're teaching. Like the brother was just saying, we know the price of everything and the value of nothing. And that's the problem of the youth. That's the problem of the old people that are supposed to lead because they themselves did not take time to learn what it is we call wealth. Wealth is not a piece of paper, it's not money. We cannot talk about financial literacy in Africa or in the world without talking about food, without talking about medicine, without talking about land. And when I mean those things, I mean by owning them, learning how to grow your own food, learning how to make your own medicine, learning how to build your own houses, your own water supply, your own energy supply. And we don't do that. I think if we take the time in our schools to introduce this little steps in the curriculum, like teach the youth how to start your own business, whether you're selling mangoes, whether you're selling water or salt, which is a necessity. People might look at a salt seller like you make nothing, but that might be the richest people in the world because everybody uses salt. Everybody needs salt. You can't eat without salt. So little things like this, we can take upon ourselves to teach the youth. Teach the youth, I have land, I'm your father. I'll give you a piece of land. I'll teach you how to grow your food. I'll teach you this herb can heal you with this illness. This herb can help you with this. This food can help you with this, Take the time and tackle the problem from the root, because the root is us. Okay. It's them. It's everybody. And we just took the wrong turn somewhere. We forgot what we are here for. We are here to propagate. We're here to grow. We're here to evolve. But we can't do that when we put in value on a piece of paper that doesn't move without our consent. We give money value, but we don't give the same value to land. We don't give the same value to medicine. Okay. And when I mean medicine, I mean traditional medicine.
Okay, so I'm concerned about the issues you've just spoken about, especially tackling this matter from the root cause. I don't want to say you are shifting blame, but you are a bit recognizing the role of parenthood, the role of institutions, academic institutions, ensuring that from the early age of a child, he or she should be taught financial management. But let's look at the common mistakes with you, Dubas. Sometimes these young people have the money, or the parents have the money, and because of that, we will say that they have the money because once they feel that their parents have it, so it's for them. But what are the common mistakes you think these young people make when it comes to financial management? Despite maybe the parents may have the money, or maybe they worked so hard at the early age to have it, but maybe there are mistakes that they make in managing this money properly.
Money follows water law. This is a currency. If you don't have purpose for the money, you will have to use it a way or another. So as long as you have money, you will have a use for it. Before the use, you have to decide. That's where the power is, to decide where this money will go. If you don't do this choice, life will do this choice for you. Circumstances will do this choice for you. So the first thing for me is you have to have an ambition. You may be 5, you may be 15, 21, 33. It doesn't matter. When you have your child of 5, he may want an ice cream. That's a goal for him. You don't just buy it to him. There is some community that have a way to teach child how to manage their money. So you will have your allowance for the week, and your parents have a responsibility to show you, okay, this is for food, this is for saving, this is for charity, etc. And when you want to buy something for pleasure, you have this part in this piggy bank.
Budgeting.
Yeah. You learn budgeting at a little pace. And when you start doing things week after week, month after month, that just turns to be your way of being. So that will be hard for you to be in a place where you won't be able to manage. So the ambition and creating a road for the money to go. Learning to create the road for the money to go.
I'm concerned about the impact of social media on young people's financial management. From the onset, the both of you talk about how many youth are carried away by what they see others doing, the lives that others are living, and maybe how flashy, like you said, Dubas, others are looking. But tell us, from your understanding, how does the social media really contribute to financial indiscipline, for young people, because I mean, the social media is just a platform that once you use, and I know you want to be critical about, it comes to how you use it, but others live their lives on the social media and it's the business. Perhaps they have the money, they live in their life. You wouldn't, show them how to live their lives. But again, you are kind of concerned about how others view those people's lives on the social media, and when they have a little amount of money, they want to be like those people on the social media. Explain a bit about that.
Social media is a good tool, but like anything good, too much of it is not good. So it all depends on how social media is being used. I feel as though there are certain people that are conscious. When they take their phone, they go on social media, they see certain things, they tell themselves, I shouldn't do this because it wouldn't help me. And then there are certain people that don't have a mind on their own. Be like, oh, I need to be like this person, So social media in itself is not the issue. It's how we view social media. Is actually the direct impact of social media is the people around us, our direct environment, our frequentations, our friends. It's not only about what I see on social media, but it's also about how I'm going to look with the people that I hang with. Because that's what bothers us. The social media is just icing on the cake. It's the impact on our frequentations, our friends, our family. For instance, me, I grew up in a very conservative family. My father was a soldier. I'm from Togo, a very small country. A very poor family too. So early on, I was taught how to survive. I was taught how to fend for myself. And not going to beg, but learning how to create. Because we were rich by land, we were rich by heart. But we didn't have any paper money. And if you ask me, that's not riches and that's not wealth. So I should say we were poor on paper, but we were rich. Because I was taught very young to grow my food, to raise chicken, And even when my family became a little bit financially stable, I wasn't like prone to follow the trend. I was just more like, let me take a little bit of what they're giving me to make something for myself. That's how social media was influencing me. When YouTube started coming out, when Facebook started coming out, I see people on Facebook, I see people on Instagram and stuff. I'm like, oh, this is nice, Maybe I need to start my own. I need to start my own hair care line. I need to start making my own soap. That's how social media influenced me. That's what I was saying. It all depends on how you take it. It all depends on the mindset. So it's like a chain reaction. If you have your children at home, you don't teach them how to be strong mentally. They will go and take anything and add there. But if you're at the root, you tell them, listen, it's hard out there, so we have to hustle. We got to look for a way out. That's why I was saying we have to tackle the problem from the root. So outside factors do not affect us directly. Outside factors, there could be a plus or a minus. When you see that, you know how to be aware. And if you're not strong mentally, you will take anything. Anybody will take you along their way. But if you forge your own way, if you draw your own trajectory, nobody can take you away from that. That is my message. When I'm saying we have to wake up, and in order for us to get there, we have to be able to dream. Like he was saying, we have to be able to have a goal. Because you can have all the money in the world, all the contacts in the world. You don't have a goal. You don't have determination. We ain't going nowhere.
Okay, let's hear from Dubats regarding its own side of the story, considering the social media impacts. Like you are a young man and you want to look good. Especially you wake up in the morning, you are going places, you are interacting with people. You wouldn't want to be wearing the same shirts all the time, or maybe the same boots, the same belt. When you look on the social media, you see your colleague, maybe within a week time, he has posted maybe 3 or 4 times in a week. And all of those posts, indicating different wearings. And you might consider them to be very expensive, and you people meet, you people interact, maybe with ladies to opposite gender, and you feel that you can also be like him, you can also dress like him, but maybe your financial ability If you focus on that, you want to purchase the very type of belt he wears, the shoes he wears, and considering you have a school fees or tuition to pay, maybe your mother or father or your siblings, they are depending on you one way or the other. So would you consider the Facebook live, the social media lifestyle as a negative influence on young people's financial management?
I won't say negative influence. There's a saying, stars incline, but do not decide.
Stars incline.
Yeah.
Please explain that.
In astrology, you have your astrology. If you are Gemini, they'll say, okay, don't talk to people in red today. There's an inclination. This is not a decision for you.
Okay.
The word propose you a way to go, but you don't have to say yes or okay. You still have a choice to do. You still have the choice to go the way you want to go. So I see social media the same way. You will see a lot of things, good things, bad things. The choice still is yours. So that's the first point. Generally speaking, people will act out of inspiration or desperation. In her case, social media were used for inspiration. In most cases, people will use social media out of desperation. And that's the problem. Not social media, but your way of seeing things and what is in your heart at the moment you are seeing those things. What that awaken in you as feelings, as wanting, as anything. And because you can say, okay, social media is the problem, and then we will suppress social media from the world, and you will still have that same problem, but just that will be shift to another cause, false cause. So for me, that's personal responsibility.
Personal responsibility.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I will just begin with you. Do you have any personal experience of maybe, if not you, but maybe a relative or a colleague who you think life changed based upon his or her financial management skill? And on the opposite, if you have experienced, if not you, but others that, they have the financial resources, but they were unable to manage it, and maybe they are a little down now and struggling again to get back on the path.
For the first case, I have people, I can talk about one friend. He is radiologist, and he is younger than me. I came to Senegal 2 years before him.
Okay.
But we have to, generally speaking, we talk a lot. So when it's time to talk about money, this is the guy I want to hear, even though he is younger than me. He has a great way to see things and to plan things, and that's the kind of guy that will just take a paper and a pen and make his budget. Every week he will sit and make a point to evaluate, to analyze, okay, where the money goes, where this, where that. And in my social circle, he is, let's say, the one to go to. And this is a great example for me. At the same time, yesterday we were together with another friend of mine who were talking about a friend of his. And this one, let's say with the work he does, he get a lot of money, but at the same time, no economy, no nothing, no saving, no nothing. And we were talking exactly, let's say, about the subject, and this is the kind of people we just don't have in our circle. You just can be friend with us if you manage your life that way. You see, so there is a lot of people with. Look, the problem is not that they don't have the information. They have the information, and for my part, I think that this is the way you used to do things when you were younger is the way you will have to do things over and over again. So the sooner you start changing some habit, the better for you.
Great. The sooner you get to understand this, like, Bachita said, tackling it from the root causes, But it's been a pleasure hearing from our guests so far on this 26th edition of your Youth Exchange program. Take the lead here on West Africa Democracy Radio in the year 2025. Let's now take a few minutes and listen to what some Liberian youths have to say about ensuring financial discipline.
Like, people that are living above their incomes nowadays, there are reasons for it. And some of the reasons are lack of budgeting skills. Like, when they have little money, they want to go to a club, they want to do something that is not necessary for them to do. Second thing I know about is lifestyle inflation. They want to live that kind of luxurious life wherein they know that they don't have money, but they want to compare themselves with those that their parents are affording for them.
Do you see many young people of your age or at your age involved into that?
Yes, there are so many.
Do you interact with them?
Kind of glued to people like that. I advise some of them on saving, because once you are young, it's the time for you to save.
Do you see an effect, especially for people who are involved into this lifestyle?
It's a kind of bad thing. My message to them is they should avoid debt and everything that has to do with luxurious life. Once you are not fit for it, or you are not at that top or at that point for you to live your luxurious life, you shouldn't force it.
So your name again?
Rita Johnson.
So we have another young man here. How you doing? What's your name?
I'm Prince Hammond.
Prince Hammond, we want to look at this conversation that centers around young people living above their income. Do you have such an experience, or have you gone around people who are involved into such a lifestyle?
Some kind of way I was involved into that. And at the end of the day, get past. At that moment, you won't be to that place, and that's something you need. And that's something you really need. You there, you feeling comfortable. And again, also the bar side of it. Now they call your code according to your measurement. Yeah. Somebody ain't fed, it can put you in situation where at the end of the day you don't want to be there. The negative side of it is bad. You gotta pay attention to your life and don't put too much burden on your head. Thinking what you can afford, it don't force.
So we have another young person. What's your name?
My name is Ishmael M. Logan. Yeah, it's a very, critical discussion now happening in my country, where most of the young people, they would normally live above what they earn monthly. For instance, a young man works and makes it's $100 monthly, and now he's into a whole lot of activities. Like, he wants to go club with his girlfriend every weekend, and looking at the financial costs associated with those different luxurious life. Because you go to an entertainment center or nightclub, you need to pay for entrance, you need to pay to purchase drinks, to buy food to eat, you need transportation.
What has been your personal experience with this topic?
Yeah, since like I had a situation about my school fees. I had to pay my tuition for that semester. So as a result, I have already spent that amount that could be used to pay for my credit for the already existing semester for another weekend trip out of town. And before I could realize, it was already late for me. So I had to wait for that semester while my peers were, fortunate here with their education. So that it really impacted me a whole lot. As a young person, always be in a position to plan and have a budget. Even if that to buy one pair of sneakers, you should know when to buy it and which time to buy, so you be able to have a life that is being fun. You be financially disciplined to know when to spend and how to spend.
Thanks to WADR's Monrovia correspondent Ibrahim Parker for engaging the views of some young people in Liberia about ensuring financial discipline.
Hey people, my name is Mello, Afrobeat singer from Guinea and Conakry. I love listening to the program Take the Lead on West Africa Democracy Radio.
Hello, my name is Fatou Bintou Rasouké. I'm the CEO of African Start Shop, and I love listening to your program Take the Lead on West Africa Democracy Radio.
And of course, welcome back to Take the Lead here on West Africa Democracy Radio. We are broadcasting all the way from Dakar, Senegal. We are also streaming live on YouTube at WADR News, on Facebook, WADR English service. Get us worldwide at WADR.org. Let's now recognize our partner stations across the West African sub-region that often rebroadcast this youth program. Beginning with Nigeria, we have Darling FM, we have Nensit FM in Kaduna State, we have Love FM in Abuja. Traveling to Liberia, we have Alternative Youth Radio in Lofa County, we have DCN Radio in Rivers County, we have Kwatika Radio in Banga, Bon County. Now to Sierra Leone, we have African Young Voices there in Freetown. We also have Radio Bav in Mal. We have the Hands of Hope in Freetown. And we have Eastern Radio in Kono District. That's for Sierra Leone. Now we take you to Ghana, where Radio Path in the Savannah region often rebroadcast this program, followed by Royals FM. And those are our partner radio stations that rebroadcast in Ghana. For the Gambia, we have Numi FM as well as Radio Veritas. Those are our partner radio stations. Once you are in those countries, trust us that you will certainly listen to a rebroadcast of this wonderful program. Coming back to our guests in studio, of course, Dumas already explained his experience. Let's now listen to you very briefly as you share your own experience about either you, your colleagues, or family members you experienced having finance, but they didn't know how to manage it and it slipped off their hands and they are now struggling, as compared to the ones that you know, they have it and they are properly managing it.
Okay, well, I'll use myself as an example, how I was on both sides.
Okay.
Well, as you know, I grew up in Togo, but at 14, I went to the U.S. for my studies.
Okay.
So most of my adult life, I was over there, university, everything. So when I was over there, I was being taken care of by my family. So
in the U.S.?
Yes. So I had pocket money, I had school fees, I had everything. And they was telling me, save. All the lessons they put in my head. I went over there. I'm like, I don't need to save. I'm in the U.S., you're helping me. I don't need to do none of that. My dad is like, you need to save. Remember everything I taught you, you need to save. I won't listen. And mind you, he was working for the United Nations at the time. I told you, luck came around the way. Things got good, and I lost my way. So I was studying. The only thing he asked me to do was focus on your studies. So everything was coming in. I was good in school, but I was spending money really bad. And for some reason, my dad didn't tell us that he was going to get his retirement, very soon. So mind you, this good life lasted 2 years. I turned my eyes. I'm like, last year of university. My dad's like, yeah, they just told me my age is too advanced. I can't work here anymore, so I'm going in retirement. So I hope you've been saving the money I've been giving you, because you're going to have to pay your own school fees. You're going to have to pay for your own housing. You're going to have to pay for all this. And I gave you enough money this whole time to fend for yourself. And I was telling you to save because of this. And mind you, I didn't save anything. Yeah, so I found myself in a bad situation. I had to learn from it. I had to go look for a job. I started working, earning $5 per head. I was washing hair in a salon because I didn't have the means to work. I wasn't allowed to work. I was a student. So I had to stay and ask my friend, can you ask your mom, can I work in her salon? So I started working in her salon, gaining $5. At the end of the week, I'll end up like with 100. But mind you, my father was giving me way more than 100. But with that 100, I started thinking, I need to save this.
At that point now,
I worked like this for this money. There is no way I'm about to spend it on rubbish. So guess what I did? I started my own business, and that's what I'm still running till today. I started making my own natural product, my own hair care line, my own skincare line. I'm like, why am I feeding all these people my money when I can do it for them and for me? So I take the little money that I'm making from here, I'm going to start multiplying it. And since then, I kept that lesson. Don't spend more than you have.
Okay.
And even if you have a lot today, you don't know about tomorrow. So at the end of the day, the clothes, the cars, the social media status is not going to pay for your rent. It's not going to pay for your medical bills. It's not going to help your family and friends in need. So make smart decisions for today and tomorrow.
Okay. So now, as we climax this discussion, let's hear from you, Dumas. What are your key aspect of concentration you want young people to focus on? Those who have the financial means and you have the knowledge, those who don't have the financial resources, perhaps they have the knowledge. What can you say to them in terms of ensuring financial discipline for young people?
If you are young, even though you have your parents, you need to have a mentor and a good circle, build a network, a good network. Monkeys do what monkeys see. If you are in your circle, you have people that have good habit, that's what you will repeat. So generally when you are young, this is not really your money, that's your parents' money, generally speaking. So when you get this money, you can work on other things. You can build some kind of talent, some kind of skills that you can use to leverage in different situations. And the easiest or the most required skills is people skills. So you have to build a good relationship. The kind of people that can learn you that can teach you, some things. And you need to have a mentor. It's like a second father.
Okay.
Godfather. Generally speaking, your parents won't have this easiness to teach you things because when you growing, you have this kind of, no, I know it all. I know it all. But when you make the personal decision to have a mentor, you know that, okay, when this guy talks, I shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Yes, please. In terms of financial literacy, it's important to have these financial literacy as a subject in schools for young people.
No, for me, no. Because people, let's say, young people don't like school. School is for us like a hard thing to do. Everyone have learned mathematics, English, etc. But when you school is one word and the street is another word. You learn all those things, but to find a way to apply them in your day-to-day situation is not the kind of thing that everyone does. When you do philosophy, they learn you how to think, but we don't really use philosophy.
So for you, young people should adapt mentor.
I think that the best way is not the school way.
Okay.
Not that won't be a good thing to do, but generally, you go to school to have your grade. you have a good note, etc. And you don't associate the role of schools with, okay, a way to, let's say, to go forward in life. It's like, okay, I just have to have a good grade, go to the next class, have a good grade, go to the next. You don't see the applicable.
Okay.
I agree with you to some extent.
And in society, okay. Let's just hear from you finally too.
I agree with you to some extent for the simple fact that the school is not teaching us what we need to know. The school is a great tool. It's needed for everybody. What I think we should do is include day-to-day skills that we need in school. In school, they teach us a lot of things that we don't need. I think that's what you were trying to say.
Yeah.
They need to include the stuff, the subject that matters to us, like certain things
that we see outside of the school or the classroom.
So they need to have like extracurricular activities. Shouldn't be football.
Okay.
Shouldn't be like basketball. They should be learn how to manage your money, learn how to save money, learn how to grow food, learn how to sew clothes. You know, something useful is a useful skill. Because you say something very important, soft skills are important. Hard skills are also important because that's what takes us outside. When you have the skills, you have to know how to use it. And that's how I think this in schools, we need to find a way to identify each child's need, each child's talent, and direct them toward that.
Great. Well, I mean, it's been a pleasure having you here, Bachita Banansi, and trust me, it's been amazing. We really hope to have you another time on a very interesting edition of the show. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, to you, Dumas, we hope to have you here again another time on a very interesting note where we will have more time to explore and speak with other young people. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Well, listeners and viewers, you want to say something quickly?
Yes.
Just a few minutes.
Few seconds.
Yes.
Togo is going through a very hard time right now. Togo,
Your
my
country.
And if any Togolese person is listening to me right now, God is with us and ancestors are with us. Let's just keep fighting in peace. Let's keep fighting with heart. Just victory is around the way. It's a few miles away. Thank you.
Thank you. And myself, I'm in prayer with Togo. That's right. That's right. Well, listeners and viewers, this is where we call it a day on this 26th edition of your Youth Exchange program. Take the lead here in West Africa, Democracy Radio, broadcasting from Dakar, Senegal. Remember to take the lead in shaping the discourse for the betterment of young people in Africa. Until next time, I am Augustine Cully. Goodbye for now.
Take the Lead is back in 2025 with a brand new format.